Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Daytime Cheese, and we are here for the Week 2 ESPN Fantasy College Pick'em. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so last week we were 42%. We were 5 for 5. We were incorrect on the Texas pick. We were correct on the Tulane pick, incorrect on the LSU pick, correct on the Utah State, correct on the Fresno State, correct on the Arizona State, incorrect with the Oregon State, thank God, incorrect with the UCLA pick, incorrect with the Virginia Tech pick. It was closer than I think most people were expecting, which I'm happy about. I'll take that as a mini W in my book. And then I was correct with the Miami pick. And the final point for the tiebreaker was 21 for the Ohio State-Texas game. It was a lot more of a defensive battle than I anticipated. Now let's look at Week 2. The first matchup is the Cy-Hawk matchup. The Iowa State Cyclones versus the Iowa Hawkeyes. And I'm going to pick with the consensus here, and I'm going with the Iowa State Cyclones. I think Rocco Beck is a better quarterback. I made this pick as well in my preview video. And yeah, next we got UConn taking on Syracuse. Well, UConn is a pretty decent group of 5 school, even though they are an independent. I think Syracuse has the home field advantage, and they have a better roster overall over UConn. Now, Illinois versus Duke. This could be a very, very tough matchup for Illinois if they're not careful. I do believe Duke is a pretty decent team with Manny Diaz at the helm. And he has been making the Duke team better and better each year. However, I do think Illinois should win this game over the Blue Devils in Durham. Now, going into an in-state matchup for Texas, we have the Baylor Bears against the SMU Mustangs. And Baylor did not look that great last week against Auburn. And I have to pick SMU in this matchup. I do think SMU is going to make a run again for the college football playoffs this year. Maybe be stopped by a team like Miami or Clemson, or maybe even a Florida State. But they are going to try and make another run. Rhett Lashley and that team is just a very strong competitor in today's college football. Next we have the Virginia Cavaliers taking on the NC State Wolfpack, and this is easy for me. I have to pick the Wolfpack. I don't see Virginia being very strong this year, while I see NC State being a bowl-eligible team. So I gotta take the Wolfpack in this matchup. Next, we got the Kansas Jayhawks against the Missouri Tigers. And I gotta take Kansas in this one. A lot of people seem to be picking Mizzou, but the way Jalen Daniels has played in his past 2 matchups, I really think Kansas can pull this one off. They are a plus 200 favorite, or underdog in this game, But Jalen Daniels has been insane in these past couple of weeks, and he has a week over the Mizzou Tigers. Even though they are an SEC school, I gotta go with the Jayhawks in this matchup. Now we got West Virginia versus Ohio. I gotta say 2 words. Country roads, take me home to the place. Yeah, I'm picking West Virginia. There's no reason West Virginia should lose this matchup against the Bobcats. Now, the game of the week. This is where game day will be. This is Oklahoma against the Michigan Wolverines. And I gotta pick, like I said in my preview video, Michigan. I think Bryce Underwood gets the job done against the Sooners, and he will show that Michigan is indeed a contender once again this year for the CFP. Now, we have the ASU Sun Devils versus Mississippi State, and this is pretty simple. I'm taking ASU. I think ASU is honestly got robbed of the 11th spot by Illinois. Both of them played not great teams. So why did Arizona State drop? I will never know. I think the AP got that one wrong. I do think Arizona State is on that cusp of being a top 10 team compared to Mississippi State being one of the worst teams in the SEC. Speaking of one of the worst teams in the SEC, we have Vandy, who was for a long time the laughingstock of the SEC until last year they went and beat the number one ranked at the time Alabama Crimson Tide. Now Diego Pavia at the helm is a very good addition, and not addition, but very good strength for Vanderbilt. But I have faith in Virginia Tech, man. I picked them last week to beat South Carolina. I was wrong on that one, but I do think they'll be able to get it done against Vandy. I think Hiram Jones has that ability for Virginia Tech. Now, finally, what will be the total points scored in Michigan, Oklahoma? I did not say this in my preview video because I did not give exact score predictions for the 3 games besides my 2 games. But I think this is going to be a very close matchup between 3 to 7 points. It's going to be in the single digits by the end of it. I'm leaning towards somewhere like 24 to 33 or somewhere around that, or 32, maybe even 31. I don't know. But 32 plus 24, or 31 plus 24 would be 55. So that should be the picks for the week. Once again, we have the Iowa State Cyclones beating the Iowa Hawkeyes, the Orange beating the Yukon Huskies, the Fighting Illini taking on the Blue Devils, the Baylor Bears losing to SMU, NC State taking care of the Virginia Cavaliers, my upset pick of the week, the Kansas Jayhawks beating the Missouri Tigers, West Virginia easily beating Ohio, Michigan beating Oklahoma, even though they are the underdog in this game. I did not realize that they are the underdog. Vegas says that they're an underdog. I guess it might be the thought of Bryce Underwood being a true freshman, but I think he has that dog in him and he will be able to get it done. Although Mayer is a very good quarterback, and we have learned that Wazoo quarterbacks can be very good as transfers. Then Arizona State over Mississippi State, and VT over Vandy. And in the Oklahoma-Michigan game, 55 points will be scored. So, I mean, I think that's it. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, comment down below if you think I'm an idiot for making these picks or if you agree with them. I feel like you guys could have called me an idiot a lot last week, especially for that Virginia Tech pick. But hey, I'm fine with 500. But anyways, yeah, this has been your boy Daytime Cheese. I bleed orange and green and yellow, and I'll see you guys next time. Daytime out.